The industrial average was down 409 points, closing at 49,003. The Nasdaq Composite was up 215.7 points, closing at 23,817. And the S&P 500 index was up 28.4 points, closing at 6,979. From the Uniontown office of Janney Montgomery Scott, LLC, member FINRA, NYSE, SIPC, where we serve all of your investment needs, this is Jeff Kostelnok.
Think about the last time you thanked yourself for something. Maybe it was that me time you took last Tuesday, or finally learning Italian. Want to do something you'll really thank yourself for later? Start creating a plan for your financial goals today. State Farm agent Nathan Ferguson is right here in Uniontown to help you look at the things you want to save for and build a plan to set you up for success. The earlier you start planning, the better off you will be. Call State Farm agent Nathan Ferguson today and thank yourself later. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Looking for a fireplace? Koval Building Supply at 40 Monroe Avenue in Uniontown is more than your plumbing supply store. We specialize in fireplaces of all fuel types, such as gas, wood, pellet, and electric. We're now featuring Harmon pellet stoves from Forge and Flame, perfect for keeping your family warm and cozy. Call Koval today at 724-437-8824 or visit kovalsupply.com to start planning for the winter season. Koval Building Supply, everything you need to make your house feel like home.
Look and you'll see there's a whole new Ford for you.
Happy New Year from Thurby's Riverside Ford. New year, new deals, and new vehicles. Just announced, new 2025 Ford Bronco and Bronco Sport come with $1,000 Ford bonus cash plus 2.9% Ford credit financing.
And the best-selling truck on the planet, the new 2025 Ford F-150 4x4 comes with $2,250 Ford bonus cash plus 2.9% financing. It may be cold outside, but the deals are hot. Are you thinking about a new 2025 Ford Maverick all-wheel drive pickup? Just announced $1,000 Ford factory incentive on all Mavericks. We have the inventory and we've got the best deals.
Stop in and see Joey, Sammy, Jimmy, or Ashley at Thurby's Riverside Ford, located 1 mile past the casino at Nemacolin. Ford credit financing required. Offer ends January 31st, 2026. Thurby's Riverside Ford, your presidential award and one Ford elite dealer.
Chesler's Fine Furniture is having a floor sample bedroom suit blowout. That's right, prices on all bedroom suits in stock have been drastically reduced. Stop in and take advantage of top quality suits available at low prices and ready for immediate delivery. Select from a wide variety of styles, finishes, and name brands, including Von Bassett, Riverside, AWF, and Pulaski. Here is a sample of the savings you'll get. A Von Bassett 4-piece set in cherry solids and cherry veneers with a rustic finish on all drawer fronts. The bed is Amish styled with clean lines and simple angles. Price was $49.99.95, now is $36.99. If you want a rustic 4-piece set, select a honey pine finish group that was $35.99.95 and is now $25.99. A nice starter 3-piece group is sale priced at just $12.99. Chesler's Fine Furniture, Route 51 in Uniontown, where customers send their friends.
In Catholic schools across the Diocese of Greensburg, education is more than academics. It's a foundation for life. Through faith-centered learning, academic excellence, and strong leadership formation, students are prepared to succeed and serve in today's world. Every lesson, every experience helps them grow into confident leaders grounded in faith and values. Catholic schools in the Diocese of Greensburg are growing a future of faith, excellence, and leadership. Discover more and schedule a private tour at CatholicSchoolsGuide.org.
Did you know that you have a choice for your physical therapy provider? NovaCare Rehabilitation offers same-day appointments, and oftentimes you don't need a prescription from your doctor to see us. We will make sure that you are treated as an individual and will work directly one-on-one with you to help achieve your goals. You have tried the rest, now try the best. NovaCare, Delaware Avenue in Uniontown. Phone 724-437-0556 to schedule your appointment today.
Main Street Theater Company proudly presents Grease on stage at the State Theater January 30th and 31st at 7 p.m. and February 1st at 2. Follow the journey of Danny and Sandy, the Pink Ladies, and the Burger Palace Boys in one of the world's most popular and enduring musicals. With an unforgettable soundtrack featuring hit songs like Greased Lightning, Hopelessly Devoted to You, You're the One That I Want, and more. For tickets, call 724-439-1360 or online at statetheater.info.
It's the afternoon drive show on your local station, WMBS Uniontown. I'm Doug Saltzman. That's Nick Barczyk. Okay, let's just cut it to the quick as we will. It's cold. It's cold. So we keep getting updates. I think and we have some folks that sent me emails at radiosaltzman@gmail.com. Appreciate the National Weather Service joining us. Last week we also had, or yesterday, I lose track. We had, who did we have on last week? It was AccuWeather we had on. So we bounced back and forth between those two. So we thought we'd be back and talk to the National Weather Service coming up here in just a moment, as soon as Nick dials those 10 magic numbers. Then we're going to switch over and talk Steeler football. Of course, Mike McCarthy, who I called earlier today, Kevin McCarthy. I was corrected on that one. That's a former Speaker of the House of Representatives. Mike McCarthy was introduced today. The worst kept secret in football. They say those things. And we'll be checking in with him. Not with Mike McCarthy. We'll be checking in with Brendan Howe, who is with Athlon Sports, and also, of course, he writes for the Butler Eagle. He covered that news conference today, so we're going to talk to him coming up on his take on what was said at that news conference earlier today. But as I mentioned, coming right out of the gate here, man, it is cold out there, folks. What are we talking about, Nick? What's this called? A temperature warning?
Cold weather advisory.
Cold weather advisory. But we'll get the exact details from our next guest joining us right now on the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line from the National Weather Service, meteorologist Jared Rackley. Jared, thanks. I guess I should have asked you for the details of that instead of Nick, although Nick considers himself a weathercaster. Aren't you, Nick, over there? Yeah, as opposed to a forecasting meteorologist. We'll leave that in your hands. How are you, Jared?
I'm doing good. A little cold, but
yeah, a little cold. That's for sure. So what are we, right out of the gate, what are we looking at right now? A cold weather advisory or warning?
That's right, a cold weather advisory. So that's with wind chills from -10 to -20 is our cold weather advisory. If you're below -20, we get to an extreme cold warning. We're not quite there yet. So I guess that's good news.
I suppose, but still, 10 below is pretty chilly. We'll leave it at that.
Right.
When you look at we'll have you do the long-range forecast coming up at the end of our conversation here. But we're looking at extended cold. Has it been this cold for such an extended period of time? How long has it been since we've had weather temperatures below 15, I think?
Just looking at that, and we believe it's been at least since 2018, if not 2015, since we've seen expanse this cold for this long.
Yeah. And when we've gotten some snow so far this year, it's melted away rather quickly, although at the same that's the next topic I wanted to ask you about. We're way over average snowfalls for this time of year, aren't we?
We are so far, and I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but I know that we've definitely gone above average.
Yeah, last I think we had only about a half an inch in November, but then 16 inches in December, and now well over that in January. Last I saw, close to the total average for the year. Our average snow for southwestern PA, which is officially at the National Weather Service, is usually about 44 inches, right? Just under 4 feet.
Yeah, it depends on the year. It's somewhere between 40 and 44. When we updated, I believe it was 43 the last update that we had. But I just pulled it up, and we are at 36.6 for the season, so we're getting real close.
Yeah, and it's we're barely 1 month into winter officially.
That's right.
And of course, we have people who are listening to us up on the ridges, and I always point that out. And they probably said, "What? We had 22 inches this week." So yeah, it's a friend of mine up there did measure it at 22 in his backyard. He says he's real careful about the drifts and all, but he said, yeah, it's they got walloped up here pretty good. I decided I was doing an earlier show today, and I thought I'd go for a drive, so I decided, okay, I'm going to go up to Summit, see what it's like. I got about halfway up the Summit on 40. Heading up to Farmington, I decided to turn around. I'm like, okay, I'm not risking this. I'm going to come back down.
It's a different world up there.
The last they need is some guy in a little car getting stuck halfway up the summit. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do my own newscast and be a news item on my own. So we're looking at these temperatures well below normal for this time of year, and snow well above normal, I suppose, is one way to look at it.
That's right. Yeah, and unfortunately, it doesn't look like we get above freezing for at least the next week. We'll see sometime end of next week if we pop up there. Look, there's a hint in the models that we might get up there maybe next Thursday, but no time soon.
So if you're one of those people who don't shovel their driveway or sidewalk because you're going to say, oh, it'll just melt off, it's going to be a while.
It's going to be a while.
Yeah. It's yeah, I don't remember shoveling that much snow in quite some time. And I live in southern Allegheny County, and I was shoveling somebody else's driveway as well. And yeah, it's been a while since we've seen that much. Although it's funny when you think about this, man, this is a lot of snow. Nick was reporting earlier, this is the 21st biggest one-day snowfall. I guess we've had a lot of snowfalls over the years, if this only falls under number 21.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We were talking earlier today, I was taking calls from listeners about some of the big snowfalls over the years. I guess the last massive one that I can remember of 2 feet was in when would that have been? 1993. We had 2 feet of snow in one snowfall. And that was one of the biggest ever one event, I guess, snowfalls, right? That happened over just 24 hours.
That's right. Yeah, and in fact, the total from that, which I believe was across 3 days, is our biggest event snowfall ever for Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Yeah, I was saying earlier on the show that the earlier show today, I found somehow I bought this old newspaper from the 1950s. It was a Uniontown newspaper, and it talked about a 20-inch snowfall in 1950. And we actually had some listeners call in saying, I remember that snowfall. And 20 inches in 1950, considering what plowing was available then compared to the plows they have now, that would have shut down an area. They said, one woman said the town was shut down for a week. You literally could not go anywhere. To have that much snow back in 1950, especially when you get up on the ridges. Good heavens, it was probably a heck of a lot more up there. So we've covered way over average snowfall, way below average for these temperatures. Where is this coming from? Is this, I always hear these nor'easters, I hear these different terms. Is there a terminology for this type of storm that's hit us?
This one was just a pair of low-pressure systems that came up from the south, brought a lot of Gulf moisture up, and happened to coincide with a lot of cold air. We usually have one or the other, but in this case we had both the very cold temperatures in the teens and 20s and the moisture on top of it. So it takes just the right conditions to get that to come together just right.
So there's not a name for that, I guess.
Not a specific name, no. It's just a low-pressure system.
Gotcha. When people hear the word nor'easter, what is that? Is that coming from a different direction?
Yeah, so the nor'easter is really when a low-pressure system moves up the east coast and moves off the coast, and the nor'easter is referring to the winds. If you're up in New England or somewhere in the northeast, the winds are from the northeast coming off the low-pressure system, coming off of the Atlantic, and so they refer to that as the nor'easter.
And you hear about the Gulf Stream. Does that affect snow and cold weather, or is that just... Explain that. I always hear these terms and don't quite understand them.
The Gulf Stream is really, it's a conveyor belt of warm water that moves up the East Coast and then goes off into the North Atlantic. And it has some impact, I guess, on low-pressure systems and how they operate on the East Coast. But the main impact is actually up in Europe, where they're getting the warmer water and getting storm systems off of that. Europe would be much colder if they didn't have that warm air that moves over the warm water in their area.
Yeah, we normally see storm systems just come west to east, and what makes suddenly? How did this one come about? That it's coming from the south. We're used to weather just coming from the west. What causes this to happen and keeps the west or the easterly flow not coming this direction?
Yeah, so we had a high pressure that was placed just right and was strong enough to kind of get that low, an extra push up into our area. And that was one of the things before the storm we were kind of watching to see how strong that high pressure would be. If it was a little bit weaker, we would have had a more southerly track and maybe been a little bit more on the periphery of the storm, not gotten quite as much snow. Or if it had been even stronger, might have pushed it even further north. We might have gotten into a little bit more of that warm air and would have reduced our snow totals quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, before we let you go, we always ask you and your colleagues to give us the latest forecast, if you could, for this area.
Yeah, so looking at cold weather continuing through the week, basically highs in the teens, mid-teens or so for the next several days, at least through the weekend. Lows getting colder and colder, so right around 0 tonight, 4 degrees Wednesday night, down to -2 Thursday night, and then the coldest, at least for the foreseeable future, will be Friday night with a low right around -8.
Yeah. Again, joining us from the National Weather Service in Moon Township at the Pittsburgh International Airport, meteorologist Jared Rackley. Jared, you guys have been good checking in with us, and we appreciate you taking the time to talk to us tonight.
No problem. Stay warm.
Right. Thank you. Good advice there, Nicholas, I think. Stay
warm. We're at the
warm.
North Pole, Doug. -8.
Yeah,
Come on now.
yeah, that is
That's
cold
ridiculous.
stuff. I saw a guy walking along today in shorts.
Did you really?
I don't understand that. I don't know. You're trying to get people to look at you. Impressive. He did have shoes on. I saw somebody a week ago wearing flip-flops and a T-shirt, shorts on too.
Hey, natural selection.
I guess so. I don't quite understand that. We're going to hit that CBS News brief coming up here in about 20 seconds. And when we come back, we're going to check in with Brendan Howe. He covered the news conference today at which Mike McCarthy was introduced as the Steelers' new head coach. Nick and I said that was a pretty good possibility when his name came up, a classic Rooney choice. He's a Pittsburgher, grew up in the Greenfield neighborhood of the city of Pittsburgh, went to St. Rosalia School. They're going to love that. Stick around. CBS News Brief is next on your local station, WMBS.
CBS News Brief. As President Trump shakes up the federal surge in Minneapolis, CBS's Nicole Skanga says of the investigation into Alex Preddy's death by federal immigration officers.
Multiple officials who are briefed on the investigation also told us that there's been no documented chain of custody for Preddy's handgun. That sort of failure could complicate some of the forensic reliability or undermine future criminal or civil rights prosecution related to this case.
A mess in the South after the latest winter storm. CBS's Katie Weiss.
Here in Oxford, Mississippi, the town is under a shelter-in-place order due to constant falling trees breaking under the weight of thick ice.
California Highway Patrol says 2 crashes near Bakersfield led to a pileup involving 30 to 40 vehicles. This eyewitness says it was gruesome.
I seen blood outside, and I tried to do as much as I can, but they told us not to do anything and wait for the paramedics to get here. And it was pretty graphic. There was blood everywhere, body parts on the ground.
CBS News Brief.
Ready to score big on your next home? Well, great news. Huge savings are waiting for you at Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. From open floor plans perfect for game day parties to energy-efficient homes that will help you save money all season long, these homes are built to deliver. Don't wait on the sidelines. Make the winning play today and find the home that fits your family and lifestyle. Visit Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon at 4500 Route 51.
Experiencing symptoms of COPD? Frontier Clinical Research in Scottsdale has been selected to conduct a clinical research study, and participants are needed. All study-related care will be provided at no cost, and no health insurance is required. Compensation up to $2,200 for qualified participants for time and travel. To learn more, call Frontier Clinical Research in Scottsdale at 724-220-5281. That's Frontier Clinical Research in Scottsdale at 724-220-5281.
Happy New Year! Go to Ford of Uniontown and trade me in!
John Clayton with Dominic Carbone from your 7-time President Award-winning Ford of Uniontown. Dominic, Happy New Year to you.
Hey, JC, to you as well. Let me tell you how we are going to get this new year started off right. Take up to $6,000 off MSRP on 2025 F-150 STX and take up to $4,000 off MSRP on 2026 Explorer.
Dang, Dom, that's a deal. Listen, we have great offers on all of our new models. And check this out, leasing is back. Lease offers have gotten significantly better, so stop, click, or call to get all of the details.
Pre-owned, you know we got them. We have over 60 in stock. Most are certified with factory warranty and competitive rates.
We are continuing to offer mobile service, online maintenance appointments, and our very popular pickup and delivery option. Your car knows, shouldn't you? That's Ford of Uniontown on the hill across from Applebee's, or check us out at FordofUniontown.com. Offers include all applicable incentives. Sale ends February 2nd.
If you are looking for a trusted local law firm with a strong commitment to their clients, look no further than Zebley Law Offices. Attorney Zebley has been practicing law in Fayette County for more than 4 decades. Although specializing in bankruptcy, Zebley also handles real estate matters, civil suits, collections, wills, powers of attorney, and more. If you need legal help, go with a name you recognize and trust. Call Zebley Law Offices today at 724-439-9200.
CareerLink is your one-stop resource for employment and training-related services. Visit CareerLink and you'll have access to many programs and agencies for assistance with economic, educational, and job-related needs. For more information on all the programs available to you, contact CareerLink at 724-434-JOBS. That's 724-434-JOBS.
Mountaintop Title and Notary can handle all of your motor vehicle and PennDOT needs, such as titles, plates, renewal, registrations, and all notary needs. Tina Nicholson of Mountaintop Title and Notary can also handle ATV and boat titles, and also does income taxes. Hours are Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 4:30, and appointments can be made for after hours and Saturdays. Mountaintop Title and Notary with a new location at 655 Nelson Road in Farmington, the only place you need to go for all title, notary, and tax work. Call Tina at 724-984-1514 for the most professional services around.
When you need notary services, trust the best. Sandy Howell Notary Services, back-to-back gold medal winner for Best Notary in Fayette County. They're here for you with extended hours to fit your schedule. Sandy Howell's also the 2025 gold medal winner for Best Title Company. Open Monday through Friday, 10 to 8:30, and Saturdays, 9 to 5. Call 724-564-8955 today for Sandy Howell Notary Services, where excellence is signed and sealed.
Your local station, WMBS.
That's Jerry Rafferty and Baker Street bringing us out of the break here on the short version now of the afternoon drive show. Little inside baseball. I was originally scheduled, what was it, Nick, from 5 to 6? Because we had
something like that.
Something coming up tonight. I don't know what it was. Then we were going to go 5 to 6:40 because we had high school basketball, which has now been postponed.
Right.
And so then I was going 5 to 7. Now I'm 5 to 6 because,
You're a trooper.
Because we're doing what? Pitt basketball
Pitt
tonight.
Basketball at 6. Starting at 6, I guess because of the weather, they don't typically start early.
Yeah, they're starting early tonight. That's the tip-off right at 6.
Right.
So we're going to go to the game
Billy.
right as it starts. Again, I want to thank Jared Rackley from joining us from the National Weather Service with more good news about the weather.
-8's inhumane.
Yeah, -8. That's real temperature.
I mean, between that and the 10 inches of snow, it's enough already.
Yeah, I put a roller in the snow in my backyard, being the geek that I am, 15 inches.
I'm picturing you doing it. 15 in your
15,
place.
yeah.
Oh, you're farther up north, I guess.
Yeah, 15 inches. Up on the ridges, heaven knows.
Is there a video of this?
5 feet.
Wow. Are you the same one in the summer? You put an egg on the sidewalk?
No, I don't
do that once.
But my dad used to have a thing that would measure the rain.
Oh, that's a real geek.
I would get
Measure
calls
the
from
rain.
Dad. You know, Doug, today we had 4.3 inches. Well, we wouldn't have that much rain.
Your dad don't own a television? What is wrong with
Hey,
that?
he was retired. He was having a good time.
Of course.
Yeah,
Yes. Okay.
Exactly. Long from retirement because he's young and he's going to be doing this for quite some time. Our next guest, first time he's been on the Afternoon Drive show and joining us on the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line from Athlon Sports. Let's see. He's from Pittsburgh Now, the Butler Eagle newspaper, the Pittsburgh Now beat reporter. You name it, this guy writes for it in what we call the gig economy, I suppose. Brendan Howe. Brendan, thanks for joining Nick and I. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Good. You covered the news conference today. The new coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think when that name first came up, Nick and I were doing the show, and we said, well, that sounds like a typical Rooney choice. A hometown guy, been around, although the difference on this one, much younger than the last 3 coaches the Steelers have hired, I guess.
Much older, yes.
Or much older, rather. Much older than the 3 previous.
Sure, he wishes he were younger.
Yeah, I guess he was. Yeah. Earlier I called him Kevin McCarthy, so, I'm lucky I know what I'm doing. But very different in age from what we're used to around here for a starting head coach for the Steelers.
Yeah. If he sticks around as long as Bill Cowher did, he'll be 76 by the time he's gone here. So I don't think he's going to last that long exactly. I think he's going to be a guy who's around here for, I don't know, maybe half a decade, see what he can do in terms of maybe turning the offense around. During that time, they're going to have to find a quarterback. I know that he said he wants Aaron Rodgers back next year. Why wouldn't he? I mean, they work together. I think 13 years in Green Bay, so they're very familiar with each other. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers isn't the same talent that he was back then. He won 4 MVPs. I mean, he was serviceable this past year. I know he got hurt with the wrist and everything, but they were a better team when he was on the field. So I think it'll be interesting just to see how he changes around the offense and he kind of brings that sort of flavor to the Steelers, who are known for their defense and their run game. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of static here during our interview with you. We're going to stick with you here, Brendan, see if it clears up. But we can hear you okay. Just a little static in the background there. So what came out of that news conference today that you weren't expecting? Standard news conference, a new head coach comes in. I'm sure he said he wants to win. I think that's a safe guess, perhaps.
Wow.
What do you think,
What a
Nick?
shock.
Yeah. Anything that surprised you that he may have said today?
I'm not sure if anything really surprised me. Even going back to the hire, like the hire was kind of underwhelming to most fans. I think from what I've seen on Twitter and what I've heard people say, they're not happy with it. But like, this is the sort of process or sort of hire that you would have expected from the Steelers. Like you mentioned, a Pittsburgh guy. And he's not going to switch much around. He's going to keep the defense the same scheme as it's been in the 3-4, he said, which makes me wonder, are they going to get rid of kind of anybody this offseason in that defense? Like, Patrick Queen is a cut candidate, and Jalen Ramsey is a cut candidate with what they're being paid. But it doesn't sound to me like he's going to switch much up other than kind of just, like I said, bring that offense along and making it maybe a little bit more modern. And he talks about the West Coast style. They have the running back to do that. We'll see if they sign Kenneth Gainwell to another contract, which would be smart to do, I feel, if he's not too expensive. But yeah, nothing really surprising. I feel like it was a lot of what was to be expected, especially with the hire that they made.
Yeah, not a surprise that Steeler fans are upset. People don't get on Twitter and the other social media platforms and say, "Oh, this is wonderful! What a great day!" Complaining is cool, and that's usually what happens on this one. I think, and they may have been happier with somebody else, but they would have been cursing him with his first draft pick coming up, or their first, come from behind loss, we'll call it. But that's unfortunately that's Steelers Nation these days. I think is that you listen to talk shows after a win and there's complaints out of the gate. So Nick, go ahead, jump in over there.
Brendan, what do you think they'll do at quarterback now? Does this leave the door open for Aaron Rodgers, who played with McCarthy, won a Super Bowl there together in Green Bay? Will Howard, he's a popular fan favorite. Did they even go back to Mason Rudolph? What do you think will happen there?
So I think the best course of action for them would be for Aaron Rodgers to come back. I don't see why Aaron wouldn't come back. The last day in the locker room, his locker room clean out, the exit interviews right before Tolman stepped down. Rodgers is in there signing autographs, and everybody really revered him playing on that team, that offense. DK Metcalf said that he wanted him back after they lost to Houston, directly after when asked. I think the best thing for the Steelers would be if Aaron Rodgers comes back, give him another run at it, let Will kind of learn from him a bit more. I know Will was asked 1,000 questions this season about how much Aaron taught him and what he's done, all of that. They have a lot of picks in the draft. My opinion is I think the smartest thing for them to do would be to either go out and get a wide receiver first round or use those picks, especially the third round picks that they have, to go and get another receiver to go up to DK Metcalf. Because I feel like that's been the elephant in the room since they traded away George Pickens last year. I really wanted to see what Pickens could do with Metcalf on the field. Obviously, there were some things inside the building, that sort of thing with they really couldn't deal with George anymore and kind of what he was bringing to the table just in terms of being unpredictable. To answer your question, though, I feel like the most likely thing would be for Rodgers to come back, and if he doesn't, I feel like they're going to roll with Will Howard because this isn't a strong draft class. The best free agent would be Malik Willis, and even he's not that super impressive, I would say. He had a few good starts in Green Bay, but he was what he was in Tennessee. I'd expect for Rodgers to come back and then to kind of run it back on offense in the way that they did.
So you're saying both you think it would be a good idea to bring Rodgers back, and you think that, in fact, will happen. So it's both your analysis and your projection that you think he'll be back. I mean, I would have been surprised if he came back if it was any other coach, but the fact that he won a Super Bowl with this coach, and if he liked Cowher, he's going to like McCarthy, I think. I think they're somewhat cut out of the same mold, and we'll see what happens. But I think you're right, too. This might be a half-decade coach, 6-year, 7-year coach. much older, as I said earlier, than Chuck Noll and Mike Tomlin, certainly, and Bill Cowher. It's very different to hire somebody who's my age. I think we're the same age,
Yeah.
62. Yeah, for him to serve as head coach like Tomlin did, he'd be 80 when he retired. So yeah, I don't see that happening anytime soon. We are talking with Brendan Howe with Athlon Sports, also a reporter, as I mentioned earlier, a reporter with Steelers Now and also with the Butler Eagle newspaper. And you're a local guy as well. You've and from a standpoint, people wonder about sports writers. There's a day when you'd write for one newspaper, a person would, and that would be it. But this is really the new way of reporting sports. You do it for a number of outlets, don't you?
Yeah. I'm kind of just biding my time. I've worked at the Eagle here for about 5 years. In October it'll be. This year was my first year on the Steelers beat, which I had a blast doing, obviously. I covered games before that with Alan Saunders, who's a pretty well-known reporter. He's my boss. But yeah, I've done a lot of work. It was a lot of long days of going to practice in the morning, leaving practice, driving from Southside back to Butler. It's like about an hour and 10-minute drive to take 79. So just trying to climb my way up the ladder, and I feel like I'm getting there.
Yeah. And Pittsburgh Now is the big part of your position, but you're also with Athlon Sports. Some folks might not be familiar with that. Tell us what that is.
Yeah, that's more of like breaking news, that sort of thing, where if someone says something interesting on a podcast or there's an interesting quote out there, you write about that. And I really like just like telling stories, so I try to do as much of that as I can. An example of a story I wrote with them the other day during the AFC Championship game when the snow's coming down and you're watching on TV. And CBS did you see the electronic numbers and the electronic hashes on the field?
I saw that. And at one point, the one announcer said, "We'll let you know what yard they're on when they tell us, because we don't know what yard line they're on at this point."
Yeah, I wrote about, but like you said, people on social media, they're not there to clap and pat you on the back. They're there to be angry and kind of complain. And a lot of people had a problem with that to the point where I think CBS saw it, and sometime there in the fourth quarter with like 6 minutes left, they took them off. They didn't want them on there anymore. Which people like arguing that putting those numbers and the hashes electronically on the field kind of ruined the feel and the vibe, the sanctity of a snow game. And I felt the same way when I saw it. I was like, this is kind of ruining the aesthetic. Like, snow games are the best football games possible you could watch. Maybe not in terms of play. They're not usually the most like track meet sort of games, but they're pretty games to watch. I enjoy snow games.
Not quite as bad as when they used to have the glowing cup in NHL games, if you remember those. When it was on the boards closest to the cameras, the puck would be up in the stands. If you remember how that was, that glowing puck they used to do. Oh yeah, that didn't work out too well. Go ahead, Nick. I'm sorry. You were next.
No, Brendan, what got you into the business, man? Were you a sports fan growing up, or what got you going?
Yeah. So I grew up as obviously a Steelers fan through and through, which I've learned as you're on the beat and as it kind of becomes day to day in your work that that fandom kind of fades very, very gradually. At this point, like, they lost the playoff game, and I'm focused on working. I'm obviously not in the press box cheering and rooting for the team, but I'd prefer to see them do well. Just in terms of it's easier to talk to players, it's easier to talk to coaches when they do well. But writing's always been like a big part of my life, dating back to when I was in like elementary school. I just liked writing fictional stories and that stuff. And it was something in high school, my senior year, I was down to either going to school to be an English teacher or trying my luck at journalism. And I'm glad I chose the path I chose. Otherwise, I'd be reading like English literature, the same kind of curriculum each year, which I feel get to be pretty boring.
Don't tell your former teachers that. They will undo your grades. I think you're still within the statute of limitations. They can redo your grade point average.
Your grade on that Hamlet final.
Yeah, exactly. Last question. Obviously, we've enjoyed a conversation with you. I'd like to have you back on. You cover college sports and Steelers or other areas we should be calling you about. Here we are doing off-the-air conversations right on the air.
Why not?
Yeah. I do everything. Like you said, if there's something to write about, I'm usually writing about it. I'm not so much into like Pitt basketball and stuff as I used to be, just because I'm at work at night and I usually can't watch it. Same with the Penguins. But I usually have a pretty good grasp on what's happening wherever.
Yeah, the snow game the other day in the conference championship is another reason why there's too many domes in football. I mean, that's what football should be. I mean, that was a classic.
The second half did get a little unplayable there, but it was, it is what it is.
Yeah,
and Cleveland should be penalized in some sort of way for building that dome or planning on building that dome. Same with Chicago. Any of those cold weather cities, unless you're in Minnesota where it's falling in the negatives on a regular basis, even then, put some heaters on the sideline. People will still go. People still bundle up and watch the games. I'm not a fan of the artificial sort of feel of the domes either.
Yeah, I can't believe Cleveland's looking at that. Is that a definite yet? I know they were talking about it. That seems so un-Cleveland.
Yeah, well.
And what's Buffalo? Buffalo's building a new stadium. Is that going to be a dome?
Well, snow can get in there, but it's just the way it's built. It can't hit the field. It's open air, but it's very architecturally advanced from what I read.
Yeah, I think some teams should learn that you don't need a dome to attract crowds if you run the team right. The Steelers have sold out every game since 1974. Only Green Bay has sold out more consecutive games than the Steelers. So, hey, Brendan, we appreciate your joining us today. Thanks for the analysis on the latest here, especially the fact that you covered the news conference today. I forgot to ask this question. Who all was at that news conference besides McCarthy? I assume Art II was there, correct?
Yes, he sat up there. Omar Khan was there talking with McCarthy. He didn't really have too much to say, but he interjected at points. There were a ton of, not a ton, but there were a number of former players there. Joey Porter Sr. was there. I think Mel Blount was there. So kind of just trying to welcome the Pittsburgh guy back, I guess.
There we go. Hey, thanks so much. Have a good evening. I know you got other work to do tonight. We'll let you get off to that one. I'm sure you're covering some games somewhere. So
definitely.
All right.
Yep, I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, thank you.
All right, thanks.
Brendan Howell joining us on the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital Talk Line. First time we've had him on the line. New guy for the show, but I guess we've been doing it for 5 years. He's been around. Not everybody can be as long as you, Nick.
Well, there's that.
Yeah. And,
I mean, my gold watch is coming up very soon.
That's right. 15 years you've been on the air here.
Can you imagine?
We're going to take a break. Quick show tonight, as I mentioned. We have Pitt basketball. That tip-off comes up in about 10 minutes. But first, this is the Afternoon Drive Show on your local station, WMBS Uniontown.
Hi, I'm Jason Brady, the owner of Brady's Rad Cafe, the new restaurant in Uniontown Mall near JCPenney's. Join us for our selection of unique burgers and hot dogs, steak and meatball hoagies, and more. Always fresh and made right here by friendly people in a welcoming throwback atmosphere at Brady's Rad Cafe. No frozen fast food, always fresh and fun at Brady's Rad Cafe in the Uniontown Mall near JCPenney's.
Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group of Janie Montgomery Scott in Uniontown is a proud sponsor of Sportsline. When you work with Janie, it's about going beyond investing. It's about connecting your life and your finances in a way that makes sense for you. The team partners with you through each stage of life to help you set and reach your financial goals. To learn more about the Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group at Janie, be sure to check out their website at www.lhwag.com. Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group of Janie Montgomery Scott, LLC, member FINRA, NYSE, SIPC.
Celebrate the season at Rich Farms Lightscapes with 2 magical ways to enjoy festive family fun this Christmas. Sundays through Thursdays, cruise through dazzling light displays from the comfort of your car, just $20 per carload. Then, Fridays and Saturdays, enjoy holiday nights at the farm. For $19 a person, walk through the lights, visit Santa, decorate and take home your own live Christmas tree, and so much more. Rich Farms opens nightly at 5 p.m. For details, visit Lightscapes at Rich Farms on Facebook.
When you are looking to make some extra cash for your aluminum cans, visit Cherokee Recycling, where aluminum can is king. Cherokee Recycling is open Monday through Friday 9 to 4:30 and Saturdays 8 to 12 noon, closed Sundays and holidays. Give Marcus or Braggs a call today, 724-439-3228 for Cherokee Recycling, where recycling makes the most sense.
Are you looking to list or sell your house? Now is the time to let the professionals at Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty help you with all of your real estate needs. Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty has 2 convenient locations to better serve you. In Uniontown area, 724-437-7100, or in Connellsville area, 724-628-7200, and speak with one of our real estate professionals. Visit our website, caldwellbanker.com. We have been proudly serving Western Pennsylvania area for over 30 years and look forward to helping you with all of your real estate needs. Broker Paul Borges.
funeral services from pre-need to at-need, burial or cremation, call Gates Funeral Home and Crematory, located at 136 North Gallatin Avenue in a beautifully restored historic home. Family owned and operated by Rick Gates, former Brownsville resident and Guyville alumni, the Gates Funeral Home and Crematory offers warmth, convenience, affordability, and ample parking. With a knowledgeable funeral director and compassionate staff, the Gates family and the Gates Funeral Home and Crematory are ready to assist you.
Led Zeppelin bring us out of the break. We just got this call in, the official for Turkey Valley School District. They will have a 2-hour delay tomorrow, right, Nick?
Yes,
That's
Turkeyfoot, yes.
Turkeyfoot.
Great school district, way up there in the mountains.
And so they have a 2-hour delay. And also, of course, follow your school district's websites and whatnot to make sure that doesn't change between now and then. Again, I want to thank Brendan Howe for joining us here, talking about it's nice to have somebody who was on the ground at the news conference today, covering, of course, the news conference, the announcement, the worst kept secret in town, as they say, of Mike McCarthy as the new head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't have any problem with it.
From one Mike to another, I think it's good to keep the first name continuity going.
You think that's what it is?
Yeah.
Of course, people are going to complain about it. We'll see what happens.
It is different than what they've ever done. They usually hire young, up-and-coming, unproven, unknown defensive coaches, and this is the exact opposite of all that. He's offensive-minded. He's older. He's been around. He won a Super Bowl. He's in his 60s. He's the oldest man ever coached the Steelers. No one ever got to be 62, not just hired at 62. No one ever got to be that age while coaching the Steelers.
Right. Well, maybe back in the day before.
No, I've looked
you looked it up? Oh,
yes,
nobody ever.
It's been reported by multiple national
I did not know
He's the
that.
oldest man to coach the Steelers ever. So I think that's amazing.
So even when guys retired, they weren't that old, you're
correct.
saying?
No one ever got to be that age while coaching the Steelers.
Of course, back in the day, in the early days, people only lived to be their 30s or 40s.
They dropped dead at 35 from getting a splinter. Those were the days. Yeah, you get kicked by a horse.
I did not. That's an interesting stat. And 62, I can thankfully say, is not that old, considering that's my age.
Well, you could be the Steelers coach then. You can be his assistant.
Oh, I'll look into that.
Be his defensive coordinator. You know about schemes, right?
Paul Skeens, he plays baseball.
There you go. That's good.
Oh, Schemes.
That's cute.
That's something
but now
entirely
it's different, and we'll see. And people wanted young and up and coming, and he's not that, but he is local, which I don't think should factor into it at all. But of course, Mr. Rooney's going to go that route, so I think it's a good hire.
Well, I think most Steeler complainers are mad that somebody sticks around too long. He's not going to stick around too long.
Doubtful. No, he signed a 5-year contract.
Right.
That'll put him to 67, and if he wants to continue after that, and perhaps he'll get let go before then if he struggles. I doubt he'll struggle. And look at the jobs he's had. He's coached the Green Bay Packers, the Dallas Cowboys, and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Right.
That is remarkable.
That's not a bad resume.
It's like being the manager of the Yankees, then the Dodgers, then the if you NBA, the Knicks, the Celtics. I mean, that's an amazing legacy for Coach McCarthy, and just a guy used to work in the Turnpike from Greenfield. His dad was a bartender. Whatever, an amazing legacy. He won a Super Bowl already. Even if he never coaches again, he could hopefully wins another one in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see that. It'd be nice to win a playoff game, for heaven's sakes.
That would be nice. Yes,
we had a good first half of a playoff game.
We did,
and then
we wish Coach Tomlin the best, but it didn't work out there.
Did you see that?
To move on.
There was video of him. I guess his daughter does gymnastics at the University of Georgia.
Yes, I saw that.
He's sitting in the stands wearing a Georgia sweatshirt. He looks so happy.
He's done. He's done working 18 hours a day, even in the off season.
Oh, yeah.
He's done worrying about the draft and free agency, and forget the actual game day stuff.
Years ago,
off season they work just as hard.
Oh yeah. Years ago, I used to hang out once in a while with a former Pittsburgh Steeler kicker,
Matt Barr.
No, doesn't matter who it is.
Oh.
And
matters to me. No,
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
And I said, well, "What's it like being a coach?" He said, "It's awful. I mean, you are." It's nonstop. You're there 4 hours before we are.
Yeah.
The players, they're 4 hours after we are. Right. It's year round. He said, being a coach in the NFL is tough work. And it doesn't matter if you're going undefeated or you win 3 games. You put in the same amount of time.
Well, famously, Bill Parcells, the great coach, was on with Mike Wallace. They did a 60-minute segment, and he said, what's your work day like, and what's your work schedule like, basically, to Coach Parcells? And he said, Mike, you have no idea. It's never ending. It's just endless.
Yeah.
And he said, jokingly, well, what are you talking? This is football. This is the toy department. And he said, he looked at Mike and said, well, it's my livelihood. So. You know, it's how I make a living.
Oh, what a great way.
And
You
he
get
said, is it as important as being a brain surgeon? Of course not, but it's still important.
right. Oh yeah, it's this is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
That's right. I mean, the Super Bowl that we're all going to watch next Sunday, it's the biggest event in America by far. The NFL is king. Of the top 100 shows, most of them are football of some kind, NFL or college.
Yeah.
Football is just king in this country.
Yeah, it is. And it's and when you think worldwide, it's the second biggest event in the world, the Super Bowl. I would
Behind
think
the Olympics.
The Olympics or World Cup.
Olympics are coming up.
Soccer.
I know you love to watch some snowboarding.
I
We could
did.
pretty much have our own Winter Olympics here in Fayette County.
Right now, we could. You're absolutely. I could have had it coming down the summit today, but no, the roads weren't bad. I just shouldn't have been driving on it in a 2001 Toyota Echo. Yeah, that probably wasn't the smartest thing to do on my part, but I did get turned around. CBS News is coming up, folks, in about 25 seconds. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Pitt basketball.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you for the correction. Have no problem with you correcting me on the air. Pitt basketball. We're going straight to it. Tip-off comes up in less than 30 seconds. Change schedule today. We've been moving around. Our high school basketball game has been postponed because of the weather, so we're doing Pitt basketball instead on your local station, WMBS Uniontown. I'm Doug. That's Nick. Have a good night. Enjoy the game.
As I look at the Pitt bench, if I'm Coach Capel, you know what I say?